Hey, 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 it is Tuesday and welcome back to Earl Grey, everyone. I am your host, Samantha Fremont, and today we have a very special guest joining us on the show. We have comedian Josh Cake here to tell us all about his new show, Gender is a Scam and I Am Winning. Welcome.
Hello, Samantha. Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, it's a great day. So, Gender is a Scam and I Am Winning is a show that you toured all around Australia last year, including the Melbourne Fringe Festival, and now you're back in Melbourne for the Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
That's right. One last time. It sold pretty well and more people wanted to get in, so I thought, why write something new? Just do it again. That's just
Yeah,
efficiency.
yeah, sufficiency is
Yeah.
key. And so, do you have any special memories from performing this show like previously?
Oh, yeah. I do talk a lot about how I want treats, and I have been telling people that pretty publicly that I just want treats for years and years and years. And my venue in Sydney no longer exists, but it was this theatre with a big kitchen, sort of a bit like the Butterfly Club, but if they had a full kitchen. And I come out of the show, and multiple people had gotten me chips every single time. It was great.
Oh, that's so sweet that they
Yeah,
yeah, they thought of that and brought you
they
something.
got the
That's
point of the show. Yeah, people bring me treats after. It's good.
now with your show's title, Gender is a Scam and I'm Winning, it definitely poses a lot of questions about, I guess, the inequalities in the world. So,
Sure.
what inspired you to write this show and what do you hope people will take away from it?
Oh, I started with a chat with my friend Erin Michelle, who's a comedian too. Yeah, you know how you've been scammed, yeah? Everyone's been scammed. Yeah, I was looking at this world where we've got sort of a split in comedy and quite a lot of the arts, where there's sort of like the good people who acknowledge, they'll say racism is a thing or sexism is a thing, and just talking about it makes you good, which I don't think is the case. And then on the other side, there's the bad guys on Sky News saying this is fake, this is made up. And I thought that's very boring. Where's the space to acknowledge that something exists, but still play the villain? So I thought it'd be more fun to set up this thing where you're sort of bragging about how well the system's working for you, and it lends itself to jokes.
Yeah, that's honestly a really interesting perspective to take because usually there's a lot of finger pointing and saying, this is bad and this is bad. But
Yeah, but
yeah.
I'm part of the problem. Yeah, and it's more fun, you get on stage every night and scream, "I am not an ally," and just go from there. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
And I want to ask, because Gender is a Scam and I'm Winning is a musical comedy, and you're kind of known for the musical comedy, like
Hmm.
that's your thing. How did you go into music? How did you get into comedy? And when did you realize the two of these meshed together?
I think the question is, how do you get out of it? Uh, Music was just when I was a kid, there were instruments around, and my parents got me a little guitar, and I just kept playing it. And it gives you a lot of feedback. You push a string, you get a sound, you get a touch. I think musical instruments give you a lot of bleep bleep bloop. They're like video games. You just touch something and you get sounds back at you. I don't know. Everyone does comedy. Everyone makes jokes with their friends. It's just some people are perverse enough to charge strangers for it, but you can't get out of comedy as a human being. Yeah. I don't know how to get in. You all just try to make people laugh, and then sometimes it gets out of hand.
Yeah, and so when you decided to blend music and comedy together, did you just tell a really good joke and hit a few keys on the keyboard, or like how did the musical creative process work in this show?
Oh, well, you can write songs about anything. A certain part of the world is funny, right? Like there's a proportion of anything that's funny. So if I was writing songs, eventually I just wrote a funny one. I just wrote something about my friends to make them giggle, and that was it.
Yeah, it sounds like honestly, again, when I first heard about you and your like musical comedy thing, I'm like, I never actually thought that, that they would be or that they could coexist in the same space. And it's really
You've
cool.
never heard of musical comedy before me.
No.
Wow.
I do want to point out for any listeners who may not know, Josh is also super famous on YouTube. And and one of the things that we worked on together was your last YouTube season, where we
Oh
did a
yeah.
music video for one of Josh's songs called Patting Dogs.
Yeah, that was a scam. I just wanted an excuse to pet dogs all day, and I thought, oh, I have to write a song that justifies this. I also wanted a bicycle, but if you need something as a prop in your show, it's a tax deduction. So I had to put the bicycle in the song, and yeah, I've been running scams a long time. I've been very interested in scams, but that was a great day. I got to pet so many dogs. You remember? I had a
Yeah,
lovely time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, it was a great day.
yeah.
um,
Non-stop dogs. You did a good job. You was weird dancing. That was the job. We did it.
I wore a leopard print coat and I had like a big
Yeah.
gold chain with a dollar sign on it.
Yeah,
And I had
that's a
to,
moment. Yeah, where you absolutely bash up a tree with a branch.
I put my back out doing that. I had to
Yeah,
lie down afterwards.
you went for it. You had some stuff to work out. I'm glad we could offer you.
Yeah, yeah, next time though, I will try to do what you did at the end of your YouTube season and turn into a dog.
Oh yeah, got to do that. I just met this dog who looked a bit like me, and I thought, oh, that's a funny arc.
Yeah, well, actually, if you don't mind me asking, so you turned into a dog at the end of your last YouTube season.
Yeah,
Why did you turn back into a human?
when did I do that? No, I don't remember filming the turns back into human video. There's no canonical record of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey, maybe you're both maybe you're a bit of
yeah.
both.
There's no evidence of that. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, it is time for our next songs here on Earl Grey. So we're going to start your afternoon. We're going to start your afternoon off right with two very special songs. So we've got When You're Gone by Shawn Mendes, and we're following that up with Your Song by Rita Ora. Hey everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey. We are joined on the show once again by Josh Cake, who's going to be telling us all about his shows at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Welcome back.
Hello. I didn't know Rita Ora had a song called Your Song. I thought it was going to be an Elton John cover. I've learned so much.
Well, she actually worked on this song with Ed Sheeran, who is a friend of Elton John. So maybe there is a little bit of an Elton John inspiration
Yeah.
in there,
I
at
mean,
least
why write a
musically.
new song title? Why fix what's broken? What isn't
True,
broken? There's a reason
true.
to fix things that are broken. That's different. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, you're going to be really inventive at this comedy festival this year. You're involved in a show called Story Soup, where
Oh yeah.
you're not necessarily going to be fixing things, but you're going to be creating a new show
Breaking
every single
things.
breaking things.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, basically, you guys are going to be improvising a show every single night, and it's
Yeah.
going to involve some interaction from the audience. And so, yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about how
Oh yeah.
improvised
Story
comedy
Soup.
works?
Well, it's a kids show, so there's this section of the comedy festival that usually runs in the afternoon during school holidays, and it's for children. So we're on at 12:30 p.m. at Acme, and we open on Good Friday. And have you heard of Impromptunes? That show for adults where they get prompts and they improvise a musical. Basically, we're doing Impromptunes for children. So we'll open the show, ask the kids for, a name of a protagonist, and do they have a hobby, and where's the location? And then we make up a classic fairy tale style story there. So there's always a protagonist who wants to do something. There's a villain who's going to stop them. We play with that. We make up a musical. Yeah, it's fun.
Wow, that sounds really cool. Because I know for me, if someone asked me to write a story on the spot, I guess the best I can do is Kate is the space woman. She's from outer space and she went to Earth. The end.
Oh, that's I mean that's good. Something happened, you had a start, you had an end. You probably have to add in a motive, but otherwise, yeah, it's a good 4 seconds. You just have to do that about, I don't know, 15 times, 50 times in a row, and you'll have an hour-long show.
Ah, cool. Yeah, because I think the one thing I struggle with is coming up with conflict in a story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just come up with a villain who opposes what the protagonist wants.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds really cool. And you've mentioned that you're going to be the musician for the
I
show.
am the musician for this. Yeah, we open on Good Friday.
So
Yeah.
do you mix up your musical styles depending on whether it's the hero song or the villain song?
Yes. Yeah, you pick different musical themes based on the vibe of the song and where people are and what you're trying to do.
Ah, that's really cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of improvised musical shows at most festivals. Impromptunes is the one that most people I would say have seen in Melbourne, and that's for adults. And we do this one for kids. So, we try not to do anything too horrible because it is for children.
Yeah, that's again, it's really cool. I've honestly never heard of impromptus
Oh, I
before.
promise
So,
you, improv is not cool.
well, hey, I guess I'll have to go and check it out to see for
Maybe.
myself
Yeah,
where I stand
yeah.
on that. And speaking of other shows at the comedy festival, you're also in Motorboat. Can you tell us a little bit more
Yes.
about that?
Oh, Melba Glentz's show is imagine if a woman was also a boat. That's the show. She just comes on stage and she is the boat. And yeah, some nights I'm playing music for that.
Ah, cool. So
Yeah, it's a clown show. Yeah.
a clown show. Again, I don't really know what to think. Is she the woman, the boat, and the clown, or does she?
Yes.
Okay, and does she go on like a little trip around?
Yeah. There is a journey. Boat's got to go somewhere. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds really cool. And so, does it have like a lot of musical numbers, or is it more just like
Oh,
you're trying to build up the
it's backing
tension?
music. We're scoring it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, because every time I think of comedy, again, my my narrow view of comedy is essentially limited to Ricky Gervais and his his
Oh yeah.
Netflix specials,
Oh
unfortunately.
yeah.
And then I have seen your stuff as well. But yeah,
Oh
I didn't,
wow.
yeah, again,
Oh,
I really need to get out
your
and
idea of comedy is Ricky Gervais or Josh Kank. Oh, there's a lot of other stuff, I promise you. That's two very different extremes. I'm nothing like Ricky Gervais.
I think I need to get
I
out
don't think I
more.
could be less like Ricky Gervais if I'm honest.
Yeah, I honestly, I do think if you guys ever met and decided to work on a comedy show together, it would be this really, what do
Oh,
you call it? Like this really groundbreaking show because you
I
are both
promise you, if I ever met Ricky Gervais, I would not work with him. I'll put that on the record.
okay. Yeah, it's yeah, I guess when people have two conflicting styles and points of view as well, it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's but are you looking forward to working with any comedians in the future?
Oh, I hope so. I'd have to do something terrible for that to stop happening. Yeah, I'll be playing music with Mel for Motorboat in Edinburgh. And today, yeah, I'm always writing music for comedians. That's what I do. A comedian needs a music, and I give them a music, either a backing track or live music. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. And we're starting to think about festivals next year, and I'll be playing piano and guitar for people.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't, again, because I'm new to the whole comedy thing, I didn't realize also how much of a hub Edinburgh is for comedy. And
Yeah, well, it's not just comedy. It is the biggest performing arts festival the world's ever had. There's thousands of shows, and yeah, I'm doing my first Edinburgh this year. Sounds like a fun time. They deep fry a lot of stuff in Scotland, is what I've been hearing.
yeah, well,
Just
hey,
they invented deep fried Mars bars.
yeah, I was actually going to say if you go over there, I've heard that's the one thing you need to try. So,
Yeah. Oh, I want to eat the deep fried everything. I'm looking forward to Edinburgh. But yeah, there's a lot of work planned, and I like working with other people, I reckon, more than just being by myself. Yeah.
yeah. And do you have any solo projects in the works as well?
Oh, yeah, I've got my daily solo project of wake up and stay alive and, every day, do you know Sisyphus, the myth of Sisyphus?
No, I haven't
It's
heard
an
about
ancient
that.
Greek myth. Anyway, he's this guy, basically he's in hell in ancient Greece, and his punishment is every day he's got to roll a stone all the way up to the top of the hill. And then at the end of the day, it rolls back down and he's got to roll it up again. But
Oh,
I've been thinking, like, human life is, we're all Sisyphus. Like, you got to brush your teeth and then it gets dirty again. You've got to just do so many maintenance things that happen again and again. So my future projects coming up are continuing to be Sisyphus. And yeah, I've got some poetry, possibly a poetry collection and more comedy shows coming up in the next few years, but mainly
cool.
just getting snacks.
So where can we go to find out more about you?
Oh, joshcake.com. I'm on Instagram at joshcakemusic. Oh, and TikTok. I forget that that thing exists, but it's there.
Yeah. So basically make sure you go and follow Josh Cake. And thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you.